It's not a coincidence that every time someone says a real man, it's followed by something that they need from him. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about the fact that the last 3 generations of men were raised by women? You guys are all thinking that a good man is what these women have been brainwashed and eventually brainwashed you into thinking a good man was. A good man does not concede to a woman in the home. A good man does not live by the term happy wife, happy life. A good man does not become a beta walking ATM machine who does nothing but bend over backwards to provide for people who have no appreciation for him. A good man does not sacrifice his health, his well being, his mental health so that he can provide for people. A good man serves from a place of leadership. As an example, yes, we are servants. Yes, our job is to provide. Yes, we have to protect the ones that we love. The way we do that is not through self-sacrifice. The way that we do that is by elevating ourselves to the highest possible level. I see a lot of men, at least 40, who spent their entire lives working like slaves to provide for a family. Where are they? They're enjoying the fruits of your labor while you struggle with depression, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, overweight, waiting for a heart attack. And you call that doing the right thing?
Woo, man. When I tell you he cooked, hey, I'm like 110% in agreement with that. We have got to break this down. Again, I just think bro was cooking, man. Let's play it back from the beginning and really dissect what he's saying, because again, I think he was just cooking. So let's just go back really quick.
It's not a coincidence that every time someone says a real man, it's followed by something that they need from him. You ever
Mm.
thought about that? You ever thought about the fact that the last 3 generations of men were raised by women? You guys are all thinking that a good man is what these women have been brainwashed and eventually brainwashed you into thinking a good man was. A good man.
So really quick, this is like I think the first good point he brought up. And don't get caught up in don't be emotional about like how his delivery was. Just be caught up in the message, right? And the message he's saying is, hey, for the last 3 generations, most men, most boys were raised by single women, single parent household, right? And mostly women. So if you never seen what a good man was because you wasn't around it or wasn't in the house, how would a woman be able to tell you what a good man is? Because if she's single, she never had that experience because she never kept a husband or kept a man, right? And so this has been rampant, especially in the black community. I would even go as far as say we probably have the highest percentage of single mothers, and so it's hard for them. And I say this now, even as a man, right? I know there's certain conversations that I can only have with a young man, right? And it's not that women couldn't have that conversation, but they're not even aware of what that conversation may be, right? Because our experiences are different in the world. Like for instance, right? I was told by my wife, if a woman's walking alone down a side street or whatever, that it's a different experience versus a man walking down the side street. It could be in broad daylight, right? But you don't see what us around the corner. Like us, we're gonna be aware, but we're not technically afraid because most time it's not gonna be like we ready for somebody to jump out the corner. You know what I mean? On the side of the building to grab us or whatever. It's just a different awareness, and we would never understand what a lot of women go through from that different awareness because we just got 2 different experiences. So I say that to say to make the point that there's male experiences, there are men experiences that women would never know anything about unless they were told, right? There's a certain awareness that they would never know anything about unless they were told, right? So to navigate a certain perspective through the world in a man's viewpoint, a woman would never know that. And so that's why it's definitely important to be raised around a man and a man who's excelling so we can get the nuances and the lessons that we need to make sure that we can be successful in this life as a man. So that's one point. We're gonna keep it pushing on.
Man does not concede to a woman in the home. A good man does not live by the term happy wife, happy life. A good man does not become a beta, walking ATM machine who does nothing but bend over backwards to provide for people who have no appreciation for him.
So really quick, I 110% agree with this. I don't subscribe to the notion of happy wife, happy life, right? My slogan is happy man, follow the plan. Now, before I get crucified in the comments, right? Let me say this. Before, how do I say this? Let me back up. I understand the mentality and the viewpoint of women. I've heard all the talking points. I think naturally women do want to follow and be led by men. I think naturally, right? But because there's not a lot of examples, and you know me, if you know anything about my channel, I've always pressed hard on the man, right, to step up and lead. Meaning, if you don't have direction, if you don't have a purpose, how can you lead somebody to where you're going if you're not even leading yourself? That's number one, right? If you're not consistent and you don't have a game plan or a map to where you want to go, how can you leave somebody? How can you know where you're going and direct even your own self and your own purpose? So I always go hard on men to step up as leaders, right? Because if you know where you're going, you have direction in life, then others will follow. Your wife will follow, say, man, this dude is going somewhere. That's why women like men who are ambitious. That's why women like men who are driven, who have a plan, who have a purpose. Not because it's just attractive, but they can say, hey, I can see a future. I can see building a family, a home, a structured life with this person because they understand where they're going and I can be a part of that journey. I can bring value to that journey. But just because you're dating don't mean you have a plan, right? And so you're going to start to get the pushback from women. You're going to start to get a little bit of attitude. You're going to start to get all the negative connotations that go with that because you're just dating. You don't have any direction. You don't have any purpose. You're not on your grind, right? Until you find purpose, until you find direction, you can never lead a woman. That's just point blank, period. And I'm speaking directly to the men because I've been there, right? I'm no longer there. I have purpose. I have drive. I have ambition. I'm on my ish, right? And so therefore, I can start to see how it's affecting my household and affecting how I'm living my life. So this is not me preaching to the choir, but man, you've got to step up. You wanna lead this household. You want your wife to be happy. You got to step up and lead. So happy man, follow the plan. Only if the man has a plan, and this is for the women out there too. Only if the man has a plan, where it becomes a happy man. So that's just point blank. Period. The other thing he said, don't be a beta, right? You can say, hey, this red pill, whatever, across the internet. I'm looking at it like the other part he said. Don't just be a pushover, right? If you want to call it beta, simp, whatever. Don't be a pushover. Whereas you just somebody who just gives but don't never get anything back. You giving out energy but don't never get it back in return. And so, or you just giving money out or giving resources out, but that don't never come in return. And so you always losing. You never being able to give value because you just giving it away. Because one thing I've learned is if you give things away for free, people don't value it. That's just point blank period. We're gonna keep it moving. He cooked.
A good man does not sacrifice his health, his well being, his mental health, so that he can provide for people. A good man serves from a place of leadership. As an example, yes, we are servants. Yes, our job is to provide. Yes, we have to protect the ones that we love. The way we do that is not through self sacrifice. The way that we do that is by elevating ourselves to the highest possible level. I see a lot of.
We're gonna pause right there. Listen, this is something I've learned as I've really committed to my health journey, right? And the thing about committing to your health journey where you that comes to physical and mental, right? And I think those two, once you really level those two up, then comes the spiritual side, right? Because if you're in the gym as a man and you're being your healthiest version mentally, you're going through therapy, right? You're reading the books, you're learning the successful language, you're consistent with those. all of a sudden you start to allow the spirit in, right? So you have to be on top of your game. How can you support a family you're not strong mentally, or physically, or mentally? How can you support a family, right? Because when they down, you down too, and that's what happened with a lot of men. You know what? A lot of they don't learn how to deal with stress at work, in the community, in their household, and so therefore, if they can't hold that stress, they can't hold it on their shoulders. Everything fall apart, right? And hopefully, you got a strong woman who's willing to stick it out with you. But if not, it's over with, right? Your health gonna go down the drain. Your mental gonna go down the drain because you haven't done the work. You have to put in the work to make sure you stay healthy physically and mentally. And then from there, that's what's gonna lock you and put you into the spirit realm of being spiritually healthy, right? It got you have to put the work in first, and then God provides. You know what I mean? You have to put the work in first. We'll keep it going.
Men, at least 40, who spent their entire lives working like slaves to provide for a family. Where are they? They're enjoying the fruits of your labor while you struggle with depression, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, overweight, waiting for a heart attack. And you call that doing the right thing?
Listen, man. As I keep going through my journey of, again, just building the best version of myself, hitting the gym constantly. You guys see my videos. I'm just not showing that for one day. I'm in the gym 5 days a week, right? I'm eating the whole foods 5 days a week, right? I'm deep working every day. I'm shooting these YouTube videos, researching every day. I'm putting in the work, man. I am leading myself, which in turn will lead my wife the right way. Not just because I just want to be a man with ego. No, I'm leading the right way. I'm putting in the work. So I say that to say, when I'm close to 40, I'm about 2 years away from 40, right? I'm not gonna be this broken down man who mentally beat down, who spiritually beat down, who physically beat down. Look around, just become conscious. Walk in your grocery store, right? Walk around your community. You will see these guys. They out of shape. They lost their hair. And again, really quick, don't think I'm talking down on dudes. I'm saying facts, right? A lot of us have become weak because they just feel we have got this victim mentality, and we're just weak. We have a disconnected from the world for whatever reason. I don't know, but I would say for me, at some point in my life, when I disconnected to her, it's only because I had the victim mentality, thinking that everything around me is controlled by the outside entities and not myself. But when I gained control back, when I took that power back and stopped having the victim mentality, I was able to overcome it. I was able to get right. I was able to start leveling up, right? I was able to stay consistent with putting in work. And now I'm really locked in mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's the Trinity. You feeling me? So you got to lock in and stop making excuses. Take accountability, take responsibility for your life, and start to put the work in, right? Start reading the right books. Again, start eating the right foods. Start hitting the gym. Get right. Stop making excuses. And this is what's going to level you up. And you won't be in the situation where, again, you're sad and your household's not being ran the right way. So, hey, man, again, this dude was cooking tonight. I 100% agree with him. I get it. Some of the language, some of the words may not, you guys may not agree with, but the message is there. It's very clear. So drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this video, this reaction. Tell me what you think about my comments. Drop your own comments down below. Also, if it's your first time, subscribe to the Husband Code. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe to the Husband Code. Hit the like on the video. Hit the dislike if you didn't like on the video. Whatever you want to do. Also, hit the notification bell. Because, again, you need to be notified whenever I'm dropping hotness like this, man. This was just cooking tonight. This was cooking tonight. He was on it. So, hey, shout out to the content creator for providing the message. And until next time, listen, I really appreciate y'all. Much love. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Early morning coffee talk. Let's go.